Hello and welcome everybody. Oh, let's fix this camera angle a little bit here before we get too far. Sorry about that. Camera must have slipped. Gotta have that glorious beard in there, right? So Ed is not home yet. It does not look like, but we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to do a couple of announcements while we're waiting. But first, let's say some hellos. We've got some awesome people here tonight. Griffin Fish Room, Rico Stan, Anthony's Fishy Friends, having some good conversation. Before the stream started, John Larson, hey, how are you, buddy? Tip Tom Fishing, what's going on, buddy? Alan Matthews, hello. The blue caught me off guard. I was expecting the usual green. Dragon Lair, what's up, buddy? It's your boy, Big Tank Hank is in the building. Black Label Bettas, hello and welcome. Good to see you. I said new face, a new name to me. I appreciate you being here. Streetwise, what's going on, buddy? So, thank you all for being here. It'll probably be a little bit smaller crowd than usual. I did not schedule the stream out as far as I normally do. I think I scheduled it like 45 minutes, 40 minutes before start time. So that always affects YouTube pushing it out and doing notifications and things like that, of course, which they're not necessarily the greatest at anyways. But nevertheless, I appreciate you all being here. And thank you to those of you who were talking about the merch before that have got your Fish Room Fever merch. I'm glad you're enjoying it, and I'm glad the quality is living up to your standards. I've purchased quite a bit of the stuff beforehand. Just to make, I'm sorry, I'm looking at shirts and stuff I've got hung over there just to make sure that it was not going to be junk, because I didn't want to just put up a product and you all get it and go, hey, dude, this is crap. Did you not buy any of this before? List it for us to pay, our good money for? So I'm glad y'all are enjoying that. Eric W. says, I hope you enjoyed your visit to the Bluegrass Steak today. I would have loved to visit the swap, but had other obligations. I am sorry I missed you. It was a blast. I'm going to wait for Ed to get here before we talk too much about that. But it was a lot of fun. John McKenzie, hello. How are you? So a couple things before we go any further, and I forget because I did not sleep last night, and we'll talk a little bit about what was going on last night in the fish rooms. Aquamate will not be streaming tonight after us. Normally he goes at 9 p.m. Eastern time. When our show wraps, he will not be going tonight. And as a lot of you probably already know that are here, he does an every other week schedule. So 2 weeks from now, when his next stream would be, he's in Australia, I'm in America. Our time swaps are different with the whole spring forward fall back thing. So we actually end up overlapping and having the same time slot. So we are going to do a collaboration stream. I think we're going to go, the words are hard and I'm tired, but we're going to get through this. I think we're going to do 45 minutes here and 45 minutes on his channel. We talked about that at one point, but it's going to be fun nevertheless, having Aquamate back on the channel. He's always a blast to talk to. Let's see, Dragoner says, you mean you got Ed to stop playing games to go with you? Yes, he did. He felt kind of bad, and of course he enjoyed going, but initially we were going to go, and then Ed wasn't going to be able to, so Bob at Kaler's Aquatics was going to try and go, but he had obligations he could not get out of, unfortunately. And so last night Ed was like, man, I feel bad. I don't want you to have to, go by yourself or not go at all. So let's just go ahead and do it. So I'm glad he did. We had fun. And hey, speak of the red-bearded devil, and he shall appear. What's going on, Chattanooga Ed?
Hey, James, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. I was just kind of going through some announcements. I was letting everybody know that Aquamate will not be following us tonight, and 2 weeks from now, he's going to be our guest, if you will. We're going to do a collab, so I think like a split stream. I haven't really talked about the swap too much just yet, and I need to find my live chat again. Sorry, I'm looking around my microphone at the icons when y'all see me do this crazy thing here, and I look like I've just lost my mind. T-Bone, what's going on, buddy? But I do want to say real quick, a huge thank you to Amy. Sand Creek Aquatics 2 is not here. Normally she's here well before it starts, but again, I did schedule it when I normally do, so notifications probably have not gone out to most people, which is why we've got 25 people versus the usual 60 or so that we have on these. But Amy at Sand Creek Aquatics 2 sent me an awesome little card and one of her new stickers. She's got a neat video out talking about her sticker, so we're going to add that to the tank. And we are going to, I've got some more stickers. We're going to talk about those here in a minute. Streetwise asking if we need to tweak times for the Aussie channels. We will, but I would talk to the Aussies because it's really weird how their time shifts. Of course, they're opposite side of where we're at. So I think theirs goes backwards like a month after ours goes forward and vice versa. It's a really weird setup. Last year it was quite annoying for about four of us. And not that we were annoyed at each other, but we were all going at our normal times. And we ended up like three people were all scheduled to stream at the same time at one point because it was just craziness. But we'll get that figured out streetwise, and I appreciate you bringing that up. HC Aqua, Jesse, what's going on, buddy? Appreciate you being here. So we got that announcement out of the way. One other thing I did promise I would touch on tonight in the Thursday stream, I'd mentioned it, is that the Fish Fever store is in the process of being set up. What's going on, Hat Trick Farm? How are you, buddy? We are going to have the official rollout Thursday. I think I've only got one thing posted on our Fish Collective right now. We're going to have a lot more fish on there. And then on the Fish Room Fever website, because they're not doing dry goods on our Fish Collective, I'm going to have dry goods and fish on there. So we've got everything from let me not say this incorrectly to where I would be taking credit for his product. I have black airline tubing that is the same product that you would find at other people's sites that they really enjoy. Everything from that to all of your fittings, scrubby sponges, all sorts of stuff's going to be on there. So I think y'all will enjoy that. And I think you all will enjoy the pricing on that as well. I will say, as promised to the members, you all will get early access to the fish, the plants, and the dry goods. So that's just a small way of me saying thank you very much. And if you're not interested in it, I don't expect you all to go, oh, his store open and I'm a member and I got early access, I'm going to buy something. You don't have to, but it lets you get in there while the quantities are available. And then we're going to have, plants and all that good stuff. And I'm constantly working on bringing more things in for that. And I feel like I can talk about it a little bit now while it's not open without it sounding so much like a sales pitch. But I'm working on getting in sponge filters and some other different things. I can't fly to China, but I can still deal with some companies over there and get some of the things without having the customization. Before I get any further, though, I do want to say a huge thank you to T-Bone for becoming a member. I appreciate that. We are getting very near to 50 members, and that just absolutely amazes me. When I first started this channel a little over a year ago, I never even had any thought of having members. At that point, you had to have 30,000 subscribers to even be eligible. My goal was just to get 1,000 subscribers by my birthday, which is July of, it's July of every year. And we did that, and we had members going. So a huge thank you for that. You get the awesome donation goofy get up so that we can give everybody a little laugh and a smile. But T-Bone, I really do appreciate that. I hope you enjoy the member emojis, which once we hit 50, we'll have another one unlocked that we can add to that. And then there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Got a video that I was working on today. Ed sadly is not in any of that video from our trip today because he was being an awesome friend, co-hosting cameraman. So he was playing cameraman and director. But so you don't actually get to see him, even though I talk about him. But I will say, I'm sure he's also going to have a video probably of the new fish that we did get today at the swap. For anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, we went to Kentucky to go to a fish club meeting / fishy swap. It was actually their first one for the club, but it was amazing. I mean, there were a lot of awesome fish there, especially, and we're biased, but guppies and endlers, the selection was awesome. But they had everything from one guy that made his own pleco caves, and he had about 20 different, maybe 30 different types that he made of shape sizes, open-ended, closed-ended. And I may go grab some of that stuff here in a minute. I've got a couple bags of dry goods to show off. There was everything from, of course, plants, botanicals, lots of different fish, and great stuff like that. It was really, really awesome. And again, I'm glad that Chattanooga Ed was kind enough to go with me today.
Oh, you bet. It was a lot of fun.
Let's see.
You
Sorry,
know what, though? Going back to your store, I was supposed to be your first buy today, and I forgot to get those. I was going to get those scrubby sponges.
That's right. I was just going to give you a couple, but I like the sound of you being my first buy. That's always fun. I remember back when we first got monetized, Zen Ginger was very quick to make sure that she was the first person to super chat and super sticker. That's always memorable when you have some sort of milestone like that. You always remember you're first.
Well, and I'll give you $2 for 2 sponges, so now you got $1 to hang on the wall also.
All right, there we go. And that's actually a little inside information. That's actually more than I'm going to be charging in the store for them. So that'll handle your shipping that I'm not going to have to do.
Yeah. Well, and you won't have to ship it. I'll just pick it up.
Absolutely. So we did, of course, meet up with, and back to the stickers, Select Pet, which I got this last week. Was it last week in Indiana? Time is flying. Okay. I got that from him. He came to the Circle City Aquarium Club meet in Indy. But Select Pet was there. He's the one that, from what I could see, he pretty much organized this whole thing and spread the word and got everybody together, did an amazing job. Of course, he has a YouTube channel. I was a little disheartened, if you will. Ed and I went to lunch, and we were kind of looking at YouTube channels, his and then another one we'll talk about here in a minute. And he's got subscribers, but I think a lot of people's notifications are probably not on. I know my notifications had been turned off for him, as
mine
well
was
as
turned off also.
Ed's. And Ed's, I think, was actually set to do not notify me.
Yeah, it had the X through it.
Yeah, so
that happened with Guppy Guru too, with the X on it.
Yeah,
so it's happened before. But I mean, 2 weeks ago, James tried to go on my channel, and I was like discontinued from him. Yeah. So.
But if you've not checked him out, go check out Select Pet. He's an awesome guy. He does awesome videos. And if you are subscribed to him, just go make sure that the notifications are on, because it looks like he's not getting the views. The view to subscriber ratio is just off, and I think it's a YouTube glitch. So I wanted to bring that up because he's an awesome guy, and I appreciate everything he did, and it's the least I can do to kind of help him out.
Oh, well, and his club is amazing. You know, they're just starting off. They don't have union dues. You can tell I've been a shop steward my whole life. They don't have club dues yet. But, once they get more rolling, they'll do that. But right now, you just go to YouTube, or not YouTube, Facebook, and it's Bluegrass Aquarium Club. The Bluegrass
I believe so.
Aquarium
I'm going to grab a link real quick. I am a member of their group. And I think it is awesome. Thank you, Jesse, for posting the links. I appreciate you running the moderating tonight. Very kind of you. Always appreciated. Let me find that group, and I can post a link in here for them. It is Bluegrass Fish Keepers Association. Like Ed said, they don't have the full-on, dues and that type of stuff. They're right now on the Facebook. They had started to get into all of that stuff, and then of course the health situation came into play, so that kind of slammed everybody with meets and swaps and clubs and things. Let's grab this link here.
Eric says I have to change my beard to blue when I drive to Lexington. We drove by the stadium today. Right. Pretty cool.
So I am going to do one little rant, and the link I just posted is for that Facebook group. I would say join that, because they had, like I said, it was amazing. Honestly, I never would have even imagined that was their first swap had they not said it. I mean, it was the turnout for
over
it.
20 vendors.
Oh, yeah, easily. And there were people that were rotating in and out. So one guy, started at 10. He was sold out by 11, so he left, and then another person came in. We didn't get to see Griffin, unfortunately. I was sad about that. And again, my condolences and sorry for your loss there. But we will get to meet you one of these days, Griff.
For sure.
It is bound to happen. But I would join up on their Facebook group. That way you do get notified, and you can kind of keep an eye on there when they do actually get a club going and when they're going to have swaps and things. Because from what I understand, as well as it went today, they're definitely planning on doing some more stuff. It was awesome.
Yeah, and I'll join that club too. Because we hung out afterwards for about maybe a half hour or so. That's probably why I was late to the stream, but I mean, they were really neat. There was one guy there, and he gave me 2 different cultures. He gave me not velvet worms. Help me. I can't ever vinegar worms.
Okay, now there I am. I was buffering on my screen. Sorry.
Vinegar worms, and then he also gave me some other type of worm. It's just like micro worms, but they aren't not worn. Oh, jeepers.
You have the vinegar eels, and I don't remember what else you got. I know you handed me some plants.
I'd never heard of them before, but I thought they were just another name for vinegar worms. I mean, for micro worms, and it turns out they're a little bit different. But I told him I really don't want either. He had Daphne there too, but he sold out of that. But he was just a really neat guy. Everybody was it was a blast.
Absolutely. Hey, Maria Z. Bruce Fletcher, how are you? Says, where in Kentucky was the swap? I happen to live in Kentucky. It's in Lexington, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
It was
I kind of just, I pulled the address straight into Google Maps and just drove and didn't really pay attention.
Yeah, we were about 4 or 5 blocks away from the stadium.
Yeah. Very, very cool. Darlene Stanks, how are you? William Prodmore, hello. Running through here, catching stuff. James H. Walter Worms, says James H. And Alan Matthews. And Black Label Beta says Grindel Worms. I have heard of those. Mr. Fisser, Brad, how are you? So Streetwise says, I noticed you're going to be live Halloween. Will you be doing a Halloween special? I will do something. I'm not going to make any promises for Ed because that is his biggest, almost the biggest Halloween of the year. God, I need sleep.
It's one of my bigger holidays. My family always has a giant Halloween party. And then this year, my niece-in-law, my nephew's wife, she is going to be coming, and only my sister knows what her baby is. And so they're going to have a gender reveal thing, which I never thought I would go to a gender reveal party. But it's going to be at the Halloween party, and that's her birthday. It's going to be crazy. But so I don't think I can miss that. I'd probably be skinned if I missed it.
Right. I will do something. One way or another, something will happen that day. I'll definitely make something work. Time frame may be a little off. And Halloween can get weird anyways. I know Corey has done 6-hour live streams on holidays before. So sometimes the schedule just goes out the window on holidays. But we will definitely do something.
And you know what, though, is a lot of times the party might be actually on Friday because they don't like messing up all the kids' trick-or-treating. So I may be here for sure. Absolutely.
I am sorry. I'm trying to do too many things here. All right, I'm back over here. So I have a rant. I do want to say I love going to these things, but my beard is absolutely hating the multiple hours of wearing a mask. I was sitting here beforehand, and I had this beard indentation to where my mask sits. It's driving me nuts, and I just had to get that out there. I'm sorry, but it's getting on my ever-loving nerves. I will say that that this health situation has gone on for too long. When you see an individual looking for their mask, only to realize they're already wearing it. You check their pockets, and then they went. And I'm like,
you're just so big. You could literally just put a rubber band under your nose and stick it under.
I could.
Have the beard mask. That's
all. Eric W says, I'm an hour and a half from Lexington. Maybe next time I can make it. I'll buy lunch. Well, whether you buy lunch or not, we'd love to see you next time. That would be awesome.
Yeah, but we do love having lunch.
Yeah, we do love having lunch. Don't let me discourage you from buying lunch. I just wanted you to know that regardless, we would love to see you, but lunch is always appreciated. We met some awesome gentlemen for the first time today. They have got an online store. They've got a YouTube channel. They have got, well, Ed, I'll let you tell everybody about their guppies because you're a little bit more into the lines and the IFGA and all that stuff.
Yeah, they have fantastic stock. I know that we've talked a little bit about Gem Coast and how it's really hard for them with shipping and everything. These guys if they're Pristine Aquatics.
Prestige.
Prestige.
Here, we've got stickers. I mean,
yeah, I love my
the white's not going to show up on there, but though another sticker to add to the collection back here on the fish tank.
Yep. And they have high quality stuff. They have IFGA quality fit or guppies. And those, it's hard to get show guppies just in general unless you know someone. And so I ended up with a couple bags of IFGA reds that are amazing. Can you bring up their website? They have a website.
I am working on it right now. I believe this is them, prestigeaquaticsfish.com. Let me look at their about us. I just want to make sure this is them before I show it and it somehow is another Prestige Aquatics. I'm like 99.9% positive. Okay, yes. So they're located in Kentucky and it has the same logo. So this is them.
They're located in Paducah. Super nice guys. They had quite a few inlers. You guys should go check out their fish room on their YouTube channel. It's got over 15,000 views, I think, didn't it?
Yeah, it was 14,000 and change earlier. They've got about 900 subscribers. It just started the YouTube a couple months ago, and it's really taken off. And I can see why with the stuff that they've got. They've got some amazing fish. Like Ed said, the lines are absolutely beautiful. Let me screen share this. Hey, yeah. Fishimon, how are you? I know I missed a couple people, and I'm sorry. I can't keep the names in my head at the moment. But I do appreciate each and every one of you being here. Let's hit the screen share. Part of the issue I'm having is I was up until after 4 o'clock this morning moving tanks and refilling tanks into the new fish room area and repainting some walls in what's going to be Mrs. Fever's nerd room for all her books and Harry Potter and games and all that fun stuff. So she's got her own little den. And then we went up to the swap. So no sleep.
Yeah, I'm literally running off of caffeine, I think. Because I stayed up and played board games with my family until 1 o'clock at my sister's, drove home, and went to sleep for like 3 hours and drove to Knoxville. Okay, that first one right there, the bicolor, is that what it's called?
The red bicolor.
Yeah, I got I think either 2 pair or 4 pair of those guys. And I got some of those full reds. Those are IFGA reds. These are high quality. And they said that I think they've got their import license, so they're able to import some Asian strands too.
As well as getting in some really nice plecos. They didn't have any of those plecos there, but we did a lot of pleco talking. You all know me as a pleco nerd, so that was great to talk to them about plecos. And basically, it was one of those things, just let us know what you're after and we can get it for you. So they're definitely going to be a go-to. And they were also kind enough to do a little clip for the video I'm working on of today's adventure. And we will be doing some collaborations in the future, so look forward to that. They're awesome guys, and I really appreciate everything. And I really appreciate them bringing the fish that they brought.
Now, go back down. What else? Did you get any of their stuff?
So several of the things that I got, they don't even have listed yet.
Okay.
That's what they were talking. They hadn't really built up the stock to list them on here, so they were like just available at the swap. But I did get the blue-green bicolors. I think I've got 2 trios of those.
Galaxy.
I got their blues. I think a trio and a pair.
Their blues look like my Japanese blues, except mine have that powder blue body.
And then I'm going to go back to their endler selection because they've got some gorgeous endlers. And we'll look at some other things as well. And we've got more stuff to talk about. We're also going to talk about some tips for going to swaps and club meetings as a buyer and also as a seller. Just some general guidelines and some really good ideas.
Well, and to get the most out of your club.
Yep.
Really. Because I've been in a lot of aspects of different sides of fish clubs. And
sorry.
Nope, go ahead.
I just say, hey, Pegasus Arena, because Beth is going to be lurking. Tiffany White is here. I am motioning at the camera, forgetting that I have this full screen and you all can't see us, but we're waving to you, even though you can't see us at the moment. I wanted to get the biggest picture possible for you guys. All right, so these Japan blue-red double swords, I got 2 trios of these.
Oh, they're neat.
They're gorgeous fish. That's kind of like my go-to when I talk about fish. They're gorgeous. I think I said that 20 times in one live stream. That's a gorgeous fish. That's a gorgeous fish. I was at Aquatic Marine doing a walkthrough.
Now, is that what I won in the auction?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. That's the one I bought out from underneath you.
Yeah. Well, I won it, and he already had bought a bag of them, so it's like, why don't you take these 2 so that way you got more.
Yeah, Ed and I love to swap guppies and stuff around. We're like, hey, if you buy these, I'll buy this strain, and then when we get them breeding, we can always swap some babies around, and we're funny that way.
Yeah, now those Japanese blue gold double swords, those are neat.
Yeah, they didn't have any of those there. Otherwise, I would have had to have picked some of those up.
Those are cool.
Let me get my live chat back. I wonder if Mrs. Fever is lurking around. I'd love to.
And I'm in top chat, which is stupid.
I may just go ahead and jump up and grab my 2 bags of stuff of my dry goods. Y'all aren't going to get to see all my fish. I'm doing a separate video specifically of the fish. But I think I'm going to go grab my dry goods. See, what do we got? Oh, yeah, Anthony's Fishy Friend says full reds for 25 with a little thinking face. And they are beautiful full reds. Like, that's one of those, even though Ed ended up with, I think, like 4 pairs of them, or maybe even 4 trios. He got a lot of them. I still bought a trio just because I had to have at least 1 tank with those in it. T-Bone says, I have Gibbiceps pleco. I've got 3 of those guys. I love them. They're beautiful fish.
Actually, I got 3 trios because I won one in an auction because they donated a lot of their fish to the club to raise money for the club. And so what I like to do, this is a trick, or not really a trick, but this is how I like to do the silent bids, is I like to go way too high, but still it was like half the price of what they cost. So like everybody wants to get a deal. So I make it just enough, not that it's, for the cheap people, not to make it a deal. And so that's how I got them all for like half price when other people were trying to get things for like $5. So that was really neat. But while he's gone, he was going to tell you ideas for these different swaps. I want to let everybody know, if you guys have a local fish club, go to it and don't be afraid to talk. I mean, you might think that these guys know so much, but they're nerds and they just want to. The same thing with all of us. We just like to talk about fish. They love to talk fish, and if you don't know something, they'll teach you. It's great. When I was in my
really is. Sorry.
That's when I joined St. Louis Club, and I mean they have huge names in the St. Louis Club, and I just sat around like a nobody. Just kind of walk, And I wish I would have been more outgoing in my 20s. I mean, I was still outgoing, but at the fish club, I felt like, oh, I'm a complete idiot. I don't want to open my mouth and embarrass myself. Man, you can't embarrass yourself with a bunch of cool people. Now, if they laugh at you because they're a bunch of jerks, then who needs them? I don't think that most of these clubs will do that. I mean, everywhere we go now, they're just so nice. Like, I mean, I joined the Indianapolis last week. I was going to join this one, but it's free, so I guess I joined. Maybe become a real club, I will.
You joined in spirit. All right, yeah. I'm going to actually, I do want to look at their plecos real quick while I've got their site pulled up. And then I'm going to pull this off here. And I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I got. Oh, those are pretty. Out of stock on zebras. All right, so let's kill that. Bring that back. All right, we're back. So Ed was talking about the auction. I went through and there was a lot of stuff that nobody had bid on. So I just went through and put a small bid on it, and like I got a whole bunch of like just random different stuff. I'm gonna do like a bulk giveaway. I'm gonna do make it like a package deal thing for one of the streams and do a giveaway of a whole bunch of aquarium accessories. I also got 3 bags of fish, and I'm not even going to tell you what they are today, but I got 3 bags of fish solely for the purposes of doing a giveaway. So I think that's going to be awesome. But the selection and the prices is like ridiculously cool. So here's some of the dry goods I got. I got $5 for this bundle of wood, because you can never have enough wood, right, Ed?
Oh yeah.
And I've got so many empty / new. I mean, look, $5. You can't beat that. You can't go wrong with that. I've got wood falling everywhere.
From a cool local lady in the club, right there.
I got these guys from Select Pet. There's another one back there. I got those from a shrimp. I got some other stuff too. Now, I bought a lot of pleco caves. There was a guy there that had a table that was nothing but caves. This is one I won in the auction.
2 kelms. I want a kelm because I thought originally I was planning on trying to do a fish club that would be trying to organize one between Chattanooga and Knoxville, and we'd do like a bi-monthly thing in transfer. And I thought it would be fun. I was going to kind of make it like when I would be like in charge of the meeting, I was going to do crafts because I love crafts, and I was going to have everybody make shrimp hides, and then I was going to cook them for everybody. So maybe someday I'll still do that somewhere. Who knows?
That would be very cool. So when I was out, did you talk about any tips for if you're taking stuff to sell, specifically fish? I know there's one thing in particular we had discussed earlier. You remember? So
trading fish or selling or what? I'm sorry.
You not discussed it. No, I just want to make sure I wasn't repeating what you just said while I was out of the room. So one of the things that is awesome, is an awesome idea. If you're bringing fish to sell, as most of us know, when you bag fish up and you transport them to a place and you get them there and you lay them out on a table and there's people walking, picking them up, putting them down, picking them up, putting them down, you don't really get to see the color of the fish. So one of the greatest things that I've seen is having pictures of those fish in the tanks. So people walk up and they look at the fish and you can go, hey, these are the fish in the tank before I bagged them. Being able to see those colors and go, oh, that's what that fish actually looks like colored up. A huge difference. That honestly took a couple of things from, I might purchase that to, oh, yes, I'm buying those for sure. Being able to see the true colors of those fish.
Yeah. Almost all the fish are always stressed. There was one amazing swordtail crew or bag. They were the most beautiful swordtails I ever saw in the auction. And I didn't bid on them. The lady with the wood bid on them. And so it's like, we'll let her win. But they were really cool. Oh, come on.
They were.
A lot of them fire up. Like there was a guy that had these beautiful, I think they were called Bloodheart mollies. No, Bloodheart platies. And they were like bright orange with red stripes. And they were really neat. But it was smart that he had that photo. He didn't have his cell phone, but he had taken a photo of them in his tank. And that popped. And then there was a guy that was selling basically generic Endlers, but he had taken a photo of them so you could see what they were fired up. That was pretty smart. I think that the guys that did that were right on the money on that.
They really were. Okay, trying to get caught up on comments. Because Beth says, my roommate started a Facebook page for fish keepers in South Dakota. That's awesome. Anybody interested in joining? We don't have a local club, unfortunately, just a small fish store in town. If you want to post the name of it, we'd be happy to pull it up because you can never have too many online fish clubs to go to. You never know who you're going to have to talk to, and it's nice to be able to help people and get help from people. Mr. Fish Sir Brad says 50 watching, 29 likes. Please hit the like button. If you do, I appreciate it. If not, I understand. It's a stretch to get to the button. So these pleco caves. I lost my mind when I saw this 6-foot table of pleco caves. You probably had easily 200 pleco caves on there of all different shapes and sizes. I think I got out one of each type that I got. The cool thing was they were $5 a piece, and you bought two, you got the third one free. So for $10, you could get 3 of these, and you can mix and match them. So I ended up with a ton of different pleco cave sizes, shapes, because, you know, when you've got plecos like the snowballs and the zebras that still have not made babies yet, you can't go wrong having a bunch of different options in there. I thought these were cool. He had some specifically that were made into hearts, and I was like, I'll get one of those. And these I thought were pretty cool too. I got this mostly for the kids. I knew they'd like it. It is a shark pleco cave.
It was in there. I don't know if you asked him this. I did. Because he said, yeah, buy 2 and get 1 free. They're $5 each. So I said, so it's 3 for $10. And he said, no, it's 2 buy 2 get 1.
Yeah.
I said, oh.
Yeah, it happens. I did notice when you did that. Absolutely. But I thought that was an awesome deal. I couldn't pass it up. I got 12 caves all in all, right? 12. Yeah, I got 12 caves.
And
for $40. Yeah, and then he had these. So these were actually $12. These
hang on, my cat's getting on the box.
But I won this one in the auction for $6. So I got it half price. So, I mean, you can't go wrong. You never know what you're going to find when you go to these things. So, again, I would definitely encourage you all, get out there, meet some fellow fish nerds, have a good time. You never know what you're going to find. It's a blast. You know, even sometimes you get to one and maybe the turnout's not as great as you expected, or maybe they don't have the particular fish you're looking for. You're still surrounded by fish nerds, and it's still fun.
Oh, yeah. It really is. I had my styrofoam cooler with fish in it, like sitting half on a chair and half not on a chair, and the cat was trying to walk on it. And so I didn't want all my fish on the floor.
So Nate has got my mind just spinning here because I love the idea of what I'm reading. Nate says, hey guys, nice to see you. What's your dream live bearer tank size? I'm about to pull the trigger on a 33-gallon long. Unless you guys have any other suggestions, it'll be heavily planted. I am a huge fan of the 33 longs. I don't have any, unfortunately. I'd love to get one, but every time I see them, I just absolutely love them. And just picturing that tank heavily planted with either guppies or endlers or those live bearers in there, I think that would be an amazing tank. My favorite is kind of generic, and I would rather do what you're doing versus what I've got. But like my favorite live bearer tank is the tank that sits below this is a 75 as well, and it's a 75-gallon muck guppy tank. And I just love it's guppies and endlers. The color variations I get, all the activity, it's just fun to watch. But I think that 33 long would be the way to go. It sounds awesome.
Yeah, I love the 33 longs. If you only had one, if you're going to do one endler tank or live bearer tank, that would be a good one. But if you're going to load it with plants, you may also want to consider the 40 breeder, just because you can grow some taller stuff in it, maybe. Just throwing that out there, and it might be more affordable, especially if you get it during the $1 per gallon sale. I think they're not $1 per gallon. They're not $40, but they're half price, and I think they were like $52 or something like that.
So, Beth, I'm trying to find. I searched the name. I don't see it. Let me search it again.
Oh, that's what Ciclet said. Ciclet 23 said that the 33 longs generally go for $119. He says it's too pricey. But if you're going to do one tank, do the one that you're going to like.
Yep.
So that's the most important thing, that you like it. And if you spend a little bit of extra money to make it the one that you like, do it. It's worth it.
And absolutely,
it's not worth $20 for the rest of your life saying, man, I wish I would have got this instead. Just buy the extra one.
Well, and like Ed said, when you suggest you're about to pull the trigger on something, I generally say that's what you should go with, because that's what you've decided you want. You've kind of got an idea, like you've already said, it's going to be heavily planted. You've put thought into it. I'm not about to tell you that's a horrible idea. Do a 55. I think that I would like what you're doing, but more importantly, like Ed said, I think you're going to like that. That would be very awesome. See here.
Yeah.
Tampa,
cool.
Tampa Tom said, I'll just get the 125 acrylic and call it a wrap. See, yeah. For $119, I could just about get a 50-gallon lowboy for that price. Not too far off from that. I'd rather have the 50 lowboy, but that's just me. That's just me. And it wouldn't be for live bearers. But I have my heart set on doing a lowboy design, and it will happen one day. Yes, 40 breeder is a sweet tank. Paul Sotero says it's not too big, but you can do a lot of different types of fish. I love the 40 breeders. They're one of my favorite footprints, if not my favorite.
Yeah, I really love mine. I only have one, but I really like them. That was my first one I bought. I bought it for a bunch of death machine or kill machines or whatever they're. Not MOBA, gummit. The cichlids I've got that are just, they love to kill each other. There's Mabuna. Am I saying that right? The blue Mabunas.
All the African cichlids that love to kill each other.
They haven't killed each other for a long time, but I think it's like I'm down to like 6 of them. And there was like 15 or 16, so. But now they're getting pretty big. I'm kind of surprised they don't fight anymore. They occasionally, they'll chase one another, but that's it.
Cichlids 23, Donald, Fish Vibes, Colored Guppies. What's going on? Fantastic Freaks. Good to see you. Do me a favor. If you want to be on next Saturday, I know we talked about potentially being a guest tonight. Send me a message and let me know that you're good, and we'll be able to confirm and wrap all that. And I'd love to have you on next Saturday. As I mentioned earlier, I know we've had some more people roll in. 2 Saturdays from now, we are going to do a collaboration live stream with Aquamate. So that's going to be a blast. But fantastic. If you're still interested in being a guest, just shoot me a message on Messenger, or you can email me, fishroomfever@gmail.com, and we can definitely work it out, because I would love to have you on, and I enjoy your lives.
He's a super cool guy.
He is. He's got some cool tanks as well on his channel.
Mm-hmm. We really got to meet him on the football draft.
That was fun.
And that's when you really get to see somebody's personality, and he has a great one. A lot of fun.
He does indeed. All right. I don't think I missed anything highlighted. I tried to roll back through there real quick. Yep, looks like we're caught up. All right. So, talking swaps again. Sorry, really tired. Been a long couple days, and I've still got to run a linear air setup all over again now that I've moved all these tanks. But we will get it there.
I forgot. Yeah, you moved it all.
I'm trying to think of. I had a list of stuff before we started. I promise you, I did. I guess we kind of covered the most important things. Just get up there, have fun. Don't be afraid to talk to people, like Ed said. We're all fish nerds. It's kind of like, the community that we have here online. Don't be afraid to say hi. We're all here for the fish, so don't be shy. I guess that's the best way to put it. I've done that myself. I'm like, I don't want to, interject myself. But once you get to talking to people, and Ed's great at it. I love hanging out with Ed, because he starts conversations left and right, and he's always dragging me into them, and I love it. So, wow. Yeah. My mind is
life is too short not to talk. I've learned that a long time ago, and like I said, I regret that I wasn't more outspoken when I joined my first fish club, because that's a great club there in St. Louis.
It is.
And
I've not been there, but you've told me a lot about it, so I can say that it is, having lived vicariously going to it through you.
Yep. And I plan on going back maybe next year and seeing it. When I'll try to do something with, try to coincide something that they're doing with visiting my brother.
That would be very cool. Look at you awesome people. Fish. We've got Grumpy Mike's Fish pooping on the chat with the $1 super pooper chat. I'm going to have to go to the store tomorrow and buy some more of these. I only got 3 of them left. Grumpy Mike's Fish, thank you for that. And then Grumpy Mike turned right back around with the $5 super chat and said, my tardiness fee with the member emojis on there. Grumpy Mike, say it every week. Twice a week, actually. I love you. I appreciate you. You're an awesome guy. And I thank you for everything you do. And I thank you, just for hanging out. But you always go above and beyond with the super chats, and I appreciate that. And then last but not least on the party poppers, I will definitely have to get some more. Father Fish, good to see you, my friend. We were talking about you earlier at the swap and the wild fish collecting and all that awesome stuff. Father Fish throwing down the $5 super sticker with the exercise pair hanging out saying, how's it going?
Yep.
It is
hopefully
going
we
great.
Got 4 more subs.
Yeah, hopefully we did. I know we had a couple who were like, hey, live streams, awesome guy. We talked you up. So
yep. And Select Pet did too. He knew your times down too. It was awesome.
He did. He said, what's today? Oh, Father Fish will be on at this time. He said, go check out that live stream. I'm sorry I don't get to catch as many of yours as I would like to, but I am usually asleep when you're on in the mornings because I'm usually up till 5 or 6 in the morning, and then I go to bed. But thank you all very much for the super chats, super stickers. T-Bone following it up with the $2 Aussie super sticker with the cool exercise pair. Thank you very much for that, T-Bone. Enrico Stan, y'all are awesome. Y'all are amazing. I'm going to have to be speechless more often because I ran out of things to say, and y'all just start throwing money at me, and I don't know why, but I love you for it. Rico Stan throwing $5 out says, just so you owe me a pop. Absolutely. I definitely will. I've got to go get some more. I bought, I think, almost 200 of them, and everybody seems to love that. I love livening up the party, and I'm so out of it, I didn't even throw my garb on my wardrobe. Let me get this on here. Here we go. The cat
is currently asleep on my mouse. Oh, no, it isn't. Here it is. Sister Rena wants to know how many guppies and mollies or guppies for mollies? Nope, guppies and mollies can you put in a 10-gallon tank? Now, one thing you want to know, if you put guppies and mollies together, they can interbreed. So you might get something called a muppy.
Muppies, yes.
And from what I understand, they're kind of like a mule. They can't reproduce. I have never even seen one.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, since I don't have the party popper for you all, there you go. You can have the wig. How about that?
Have you always had the multicolored wig?
I have. I don't bring it out very often. It's for those super big super chats. I got a couple of people that said they would pay to see me in a wig, so we ended up getting that. But yeah, we're partying tonight. I hope y'all see. I don't care to look the fool as long as people are laughing and having a smile. Lord knows we need more of that in life. So I will do it. No shame. That's why I don't care to have a YouTube channel. I don't say what you want, laugh. I don't care. It's fun.
Well, okay. Well, Sister Rena, it's all about how clean you're going to keep your tank.
Yes.
You know, if you're doing lots of water changes, you can have a mess of fish in there. Like if you go to your local pet store, they're going to overstock. I mean, they're going to have a butt ton of fish in a 10-gallon tank because they're constantly moving the water. If they didn't do that, those fish would collapse and die. So it's all about being clean, but you don't want to be too clean. You want your beneficial bacteria, so don't scrub everything.
Right.
Just do water changes. And maybe stick with like a trio or 2 trios at first.
And that's the thing you need to keep in mind. You touched base a little bit on it with the crossbreeding or the interbreeding, but keep in mind those fish, if you've got boys and girls, they're prolific breeders. So you're going to end up with multiplying amounts. So I wouldn't go in going, oh, I could put 20 guppies in a 10-gallon because that 20 guppies is very, very quickly going to turn into 100 plus guppies. So just keep that in mind.
And I probably wouldn't do mollies with guppies.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Mollies are quick, and they're all over the place, and they're bigger. And they could bully your male guppies, especially if your male guppies are getting into girls' faces. I've got some girl mollies that have torn the Gottapodium off of some of the male mollies. And then they just kind of they go limp on the bottom of the tank, and then they slowly die.
That's not good.
Yeah. Guppies, well, and I've heard that female guppies can be aggressive like that towards the male. I haven't seen any of my guppies be aggressive to the males like that. But my mollies, I mean, I've got maybe a couple hundred in that tank, and you get a couple of ones that just get tired of it. So, but I mean, that's in my mollies are in a 125-gallon tank. So,
Candy Overhauls, how are you? I appreciate you swinging by. I'm sure you are, as usual, having to catch up on emails and work, so feel free to lurk away and not hurt my feelings. I appreciate you just dropping through here. Pegasus Arena came back and said she wants all girls for her fish. So, yeah, so if you're going to go with all females, and then, well, see, here's the thing. You could end up with pre-hit females or females that could have babies even though you have no boys in the tank because they've been exposed to males. So if you know that there's no potential for them to have babies, they've not been around males, then you could, up your count and go, oh, I want to do, 10 guppies or whatever. But if there's a potential for them to have babies, just keep in mind, those suckers multiply, and you're probably going to get some males come out of those babies. So you could still end up going, well, I had 5 females, and now I have 57 of them that are boys and girls.
Yep. And a Black Widow is pretty close, but there's always so many boys in the tank, they can't get them all.
Alice Cage says, what the heck is going on here? I ran out of party poppers, Alice, so I said, you know what? I'm going to throw on the wig, and I'm going to look glorious tonight. Is that James's wife? No, she's far prettier than this. Her beard's a little bit longer, and it's actually purple, but,
You're going to get in trouble. Don't say that.
No, she's not listening. She's got family over, so she never watches the replay, so I'm safe. Nobody. Shh. She's probably got 5 messages on Facebook now from people going, he's talking smack.
Well, Sister Rena, there's like when you're buying your guppies, we were showing some guppies that were kind of more, kind of costly, but it's a pure strain, so the babies will always look like that. But like what James was just saying is you might get, if you go to your local fish store and you just get like mutt guppies, you don't know, they may be hit with, from other males, from other types. So you might end up, it's pretty neat because you might have a whole lot of different types of babies, and that might be your thing. And that's a lot of fun too. And I think mutt guppy tanks are just great and a lot of fun.
They are. I love them. And I know some people don't agree with it, but I enjoy inlers in with my guppies and my mutt guppy tanks because you can get some really nice inlers that come over into the guppy strains, and you never know what you're going to get. But even just mutt guppies or a mutt inler tank is absolutely awesome. Oh, let's see. We had a couple of questions. Real quick, though. Tom Patterson said, LRB says females hold up to 9 months. It sounds about right. And if LRB said it, I would tend to agree that that's probably the case. I know they can hold for quite a long time.
I always go by 6 months, but if LRB says 9, I wouldn't argue whatsoever. Now, I do know that I've read, like, they can hold up to 9 months, but if you got them in with just the males you want, they'll start using the new stuff without getting too graphic over the old stuff. So you're going to slowly kind of breed it out that way. Did that make sense?
Yes.
So I think if they're with a lot of females, you'll end up with a lot more. Wait, what did I just say? If you have your females and they've been hit by the wrong thing, but you have them with some good boys. The more they're with those good boys, you're going to eventually start pulling out some good stuff. That's what I'm trying to say. Quicker than if you just put that female in and wait 9 months. It's going to take longer. Everybody picks on me, Candy. I don't know if you guys saw the video yesterday of Lefty. He is so mean to me.
I don't pick on you, buddy.
That's true. James is nice.
Don't pick on my friend Ed. I thank you all for the wonderful compliments on the Get Up. I'm glad you all enjoy it. That's what we're here to do. We're here to entertain and hopefully from time to time do a little education. But basically just have fun. Hello, Jessica. I appreciate you being in here. Don Cervantes, good to see you. I know I have missed a bunch of people coming through here, but I appreciate each and every one of you being here. I do want to give you all a little update. I had mentioned earlier in the stream I was moving tanks until 4 a.m. this morning. The Zebra Pleco community cave tank tower setup that's 5 tanks on a tower all in the same water system with all the zebras. That was moved safe and sound and everybody's good. So I was very happy to get that done. That was probably the most stressful move, even though it's not the biggest tank that I have to move. I've still got a 90, a 100, a 110, and a 45 in the old fish room that I need to move into the new fish room. That was probably the most stressful just because of the zebras and getting everybody moved and in good shape. So I know we've got a lot of people that love the zebra plecos. They're moved safe. They're good. And I can breathe a little bit, a sigh of relief, if you will. Let me get down to the
Do you have any idea when you're going to try to risk shipping the Zen ginger ones? Now, maybe that was something you didn't even want me to ask. Because
that's fine. Zen and I were talking about that yesterday. And I'll be honest, I'm comfortable shipping fish, but I am scared poop emoji-less to ship 5 zebra plecos. I mean, there's so many variables. I'm like, oh my God, do I want to ship them individually? So if there's a bag failure issue on one, the other 4 aren't affected, but then they're going to be stressed because you really should have at least 2 of them together to keep them more comfortable and less stressed. But then if one bag goes, you lose 2 fish, and they've gotten a good bit bigger. They're probably about that big now. So it's like, there's so many variables. Yes, poop emoji-less. That is a phrase I am coining as of now because of Beth. So
honestly, I would probably ship them individually. I mean, not individually packaged, but individually bagged.
That's my thought. Now I know, and I'm not saying I disagree with like Priscilla said, shipping them multiples to a bag to keep them from stressing. But I feel more comfortable if I do. And of course, I'm going to overnight them. So that takes out a lot of the worry. But still, from the time they leave my hands until the time that they're confirmed in her tank, alive and well, is going to be just cardiopulmonary embolism waiting to happen.
Did Priscilla send those to you?
She did. Those are the ones that the Zens purchased from, I don't know, it's in Boulder. Exotic Aquatics, Boulder, Colorado. Also doing a video I mentioned the other day. Mrs. Fever won an awesome betta from Exotic Aquatics Facebook page.
Awesome.
And Priscilla shipped it out to us from them because that's where she works at. But as Exotic Aquatics was, the owner was nice enough to say, yeah, Priscilla, if you want to order zebra plecos and ship them out there, we can absolutely do that. So thank you to them, and of course the Zens. And yes, now I'm having a panic attack thinking about shipping those zebra plecos.
Well, and Priscilla probably didn't even sweat it, but that's like almost, or maybe it was, I don't know. That's like $2,000 at least worth of fish, at least.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that would be very stressful. I mean, like, Dan probably deals with that every day too at Kick Gills.
Yeah.
And, but
put $1,000 in one box. And I mean, here's the thing, even if you did insurance with it being fish, they're never going to pay you out. Even if you upped the insurance, wouldn't matter. But now we're getting into lots of tangents and variables and all that stuff. Positive thoughts. I'm going to ship them soon as she says do it, and they're going to be happy and healthy and all of that great stuff. But I mean, that's the thing is it's not like I'm like, oh, I don't know how to ship fish. I've got all the packaging supplies, everything, boxes, styrofoam, heat sealers, all different types of bags. I've got everything to do it. It's just kind of because there's zebra plecos and there's 5 of them. I'm like,
You know what? My nephew is coming during Halloween for the baby reveal thing, and he drives through Houston to get to Austin.
There you go.
Just throwing that out there.
I'm going to hitch a ride and then fly back from Houston.
Well, I mean,
I know what you're saying. I just had to throw that out there.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I think what did we say? Houston was 12 and a half hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
and
we got to make sure that they actually go the whole. I got to make sure that they don't do a layover in their car. But that would be you wouldn't want them to stop halfway.
Right. And I've shipped fish, and I've even shipped fish to Zen before with no issue. But that's just one of those things. It's kind of like if somebody pulls up and hands you the keys to a nice deal, like when Bob first got his brand new truck, Kaler's Aquatics, and he says, "Here, Ed, do you want to drive it?" And you're like, "No, I think I'd rather not risk that." So
if I crash Bob's truck, I'd have to sell my house.
Rico Stan's got some good information because I know we get questions fairly often regarding Aquahuna and are they a good place to order from. Rico Stan says, speaking of fish shipping, I got my CPDs from Aquahuna today. All 10 made it alive and look great. It's my second fish purchase from Aquahuna, and I've been very happy with both orders. Rico Stan, I appreciate that information. That is always good to know because we get questions about them fairly often. At least a couple times a month, people ask specifically. Daniken says we can make it 9.5 hours. I believe it because, I don't want to incriminate myself, but let's just say it did not take almost 3 hours to get from here to the Lexington meetup.
But you don't want to be arrested and have them sitting in your car.
You don't.
In a pound,
I'm just saying I didn't buy a V8 5.7 liter Hemi and soup it up to go 45 miles an hour. And that's where I'm going to leave that one.
Nico's pounding because I won't let him sit on the keyboard.
And then we've got another Abolished Farms. Good to see you. I think you're a new name, Timmy. If not, I'm sorry. I'm a little tired, but I appreciate you being here. Either way, says, yeah, I'm happy with fish and shrimp from Aquahuna. Best deal for bulk for the small guy, really. Awesome. I'm going to have to get on that at some point. Not that I need to be buying any more fish. Many fish as I've got floating right now, but I definitely need to check them out at some point. So I was trying to read. Dragonler says, let's all go on Corey's streams and ask him to give Candy 180 G's. Candy says, let's not. LOL. I'm gonna agree with Candy. Don't disobey Candy. I don't want the wrath of Candy Overhauls upon me. So
that's too funny.
I'm gonna grab my notes real quick because again, no sleep last night and probably no sleep tonight. I'm a little sleepy. Make sure I didn't miss anything. I've got some illegible scribble here that I don't even know what I intended to write there. So we're just gonna wing it. We got about 26 minutes left. Again, Aquamate is not streaming tonight. He asked me to pass that along when I spoke to him earlier. He will be a guest 2 weeks from now on the Saturday show. Next week, if all goes according to plan, Fantastic Freaks will be our guest. And you never know who's going to pop in on the Thursday streams following KG Tropicals. I go for an hour and Ed goes for an hour, and we co-host and collab, and it's always a fun time.
It is. I'm talking about Corey. I'm actually defending the keyboard with this. Every time the cat puts his paw ready to jump, I'm holding this in front of his face.
So I will say I did torture test a co-op product last night, not intentionally, but I had one of the measuring shot glasses. I call them shot glasses. The measuring glasses. Let's keep it appropriate. No shots involved because I don't want to get in trouble for that. But the glass measuring cups that he has. One of
I
those
used that as a shot glass on that drinking game on Ant's show.
Yeah, measuring glasses, Candy Overhauls put it. It's versatile, multi-purpose, and to be used at your discretion. We'll put it that way. But I had one of those take a nice 4-foot dive last night onto the floor. No chips, no cracks, no shatters. Just kind of spun around for a second. Wasn't intentional. Didn't mean for it to hit the floor, but it was probably 2 a.m. at that point, and I was having to unscrew some shelving and didn't realize it was on there. So just to let you know, those things are built pretty sturdy. See where we are at here.
I believe it.
Abolish Farm says, cheers, my fellow fish nerds. Thanks for the content and education, Fish Room Fever. Thank you for being here. Sorry it's a little more content, a little less education tonight, but we still try and have fun. We've got a wonderful community on here, and I appreciate you all being here. We've got 63 people still watching these shenanigans, and 51 thumbs up, so thank you all very much for that. Very, very cool of you. Peggy Sister say, would I be free to be a guest on Tuesday when I do? Would I be free to be a guest on Tuesday when you do your live stream for help with your algae bloom problem? I can probably make part of it, but not the whole thing. I have to double check because with homeschooling the kids and doctor's appointments, I don't want to say yes and me be supposed to be watching one or both the kids while Mrs. Fever's at an appointment, or vice versa. I'm supposed to be overseeing their school and she's not here. So I should at least be able to make part of it. Probably can't do the whole thing, but I think I could probably get in there and do that. And I think that would be fun. It's been a while since Ed and I have been on your channel. So always a blast to go hang out on other people's shows.
Oh, I wish I videotaped this. I just had the cat smell some Prime. His whole face was so scrunched. I thought maybe he would run away. That's part of the education.
That is part of the education. So if you got questions, throw them out there. If not, I will say I'm going to have kind of a scary build video coming up. And I say scary because it could potentially be dangerous. It could definitely be catastrophic. Most of you all that have been on the channel before know I have a 220-gallon glass tank. Doing the math on it now, it's been sitting in storage for 9 years.
Ooh.
About 9 years. So it definitely needs to be resealed. The plastic bracing has broken on it. And I need to build a stand, which the stand I'm not worried about. I can build stands that'll hold the weight sufficiently and properly, no problem. But as you all may know, they're like Chris Multi-Tank Addiction. He had an issue with his 300-gallon blowing out repeatedly on him. I have been fortunate enough, knock on wood, that I've never had an issue with the tank that I've resealed having so much as a leak. But that's going to be one that's kind of scary, if you will, because I'm having to rebuild the entire top frame, create bracing for it, and of course do the silicone reseal. So that's not going to be immediately, but it's going to be within the next month. I've got to get that thing moved out of my storage. As I mentioned to some of you, I'm transferring from a storage place to on-site storage here at the house. And so that thing might as well just come in the house. So we're going to get started on that. That'll be something interesting for you all to see. And hopefully, keep your fingers crossed. Hopefully all goes well with that. But that's another one of those things that's kind of been on my mind, kind of like the zebra pleco. It's like, oh God, what happens if I seal this 200-gallon and then it blows out in the middle of a fish gallery, if you will, with 30 other tanks around it, and it takes out another rack of tanks, and just disaster and mayhem. But it should be fun.
So wait, you're going to put the zebra plecos in the big tank?
No.
Okay.
That's just something that scares me, kind of at the same level as shipping the zebra plecos.
Oh, I got you.
Having that,
because I know what you're going to put in it. I didn't know what I thought.
Yeah, that is going to be for the 25 Caribe piranha that I have. Hoping to get them breeding. I've bred piranha in that exact tank before, so we're going to give that a go. And then the Bishers will have a new home in the 125, and maybe we can get them breeding.
Man, with a 200-gallon tank and the piranhas, you could actually dispose of bodies.
I'm going to decline a comment, sir.
What they did to your finger in a second.
Which that has healed up wonderfully. The light never really wants to show it. It just wants to glisten off of there. That piranha bite there, you see some pink flesh. It's healed up really, really well. So I'm finally, to the point that I forget about it sometimes.
Oh, good. I've built this wall on my keyboard of stuff to keep the cat off, but he finally left. He finally gave up. So
Big
now
J's Fish. Sorry. I saw a breath and I went for an opportunity. Big J's Fish Keeper, Crystal, Pets and Plants, Dead Fred 821. I don't think I said hi to you earlier. Deg Tanks, what's going on? Tom Patterson, I know I said hi to you earlier. Daryl Damer, what's up, buddy? So I haven't seen Sean OOTD in here. I was kind of waiting to see if he popped up tonight before I announced it. But I'm going to go ahead and announce it. I officially have a Shell Dweller tank. Picked up some Shellies today. I'm not going to tell you all the fish because I'm doing a video on that, so you all can actually get to see them and enjoy them and bask in the beauty that is new fish. But I am the proud owner of 18 multis. So looking forward to that. First video to come. It's always video to come. That's I think one of the things that slows down the hobby, but it's so much fun. It's always video to come. Cyclist 23 says, "Where is OTD?" Edie, yeah. But yeah, so I'm really happy to have those guys. Really cute. Sean finally wore me down, and I agreed about a month ago. Yes, I will set up a Shell Dweller tank. But I'm glad I did. I've got to actually get the tank set up. I have the fish, and I have them in a QT right now. A cutie, as somebody said the other day, quarantine tank. But that was one of the many new additions, and I'm really excited about that. I'm trying to think. It was mostly live bears. I don't know if there's any other surprise fish. And that's something nobody was expecting. Everybody's always expecting that we buy guppies and that we buy endlers. I don't think, and again, sorry, really, really tired, but I didn't want to cancel tonight's show. And poor Ed, I don't know how, Ed barely had enough time to get home to be able to jump on the stream. So,
it's raining harder here than it is there still. When I left this morning, it was like super dark and it was like crazy rain because that hurricane, I think, is what stopped over Chattanooga. We don't have the winds, but just nonstop rain. And I came back into that, but at least it wasn't dark and there weren't as many trucks. The trucks were killing me too. Lots of diesels this morning. I don't know what was up with that.
Oh, Dank Tanks, I 100% relate. Dank Tanks says, quarantines never work for me. They just end up that new fish's tank, even when I try tubs. LOL. Yes, so very true. Oh, the joys of being addicted to fish keeping. That's happened to me before. Yeah.
I've got 2 quarantine tanks set up over there, and one still has the plate in it. I was so lazy I didn't take the plate out when I was filling it. That's terrible.
So yeah, I will. They're definitely going in another tank because right now they're just in a 10-gallon tank for quarantine, and that's not going to be their long-term home. We've got plenty of bigger tanks for them to go into. But I'm definitely guilty of that. I can't even pretend to deny it. So yeah, I mean, what can you do? When you love fish, you gotta find places for them, and sometimes you found plenty of places that are not really meant for fish, but they hold fish well. Dank Tank says, I found plenty of foreign objects in my tanks. LOL. I've been fortunate. The kids have not really messed with anything in a while. Knock on wood there. But yeah, I've definitely found some weird stuff. Now, I did have, when I got back home from the swap, I did find 2 of my endlers in the wrong tank. And that was my fault. I filled the tanks up too high. Fortunately, they jumped into another tank and not into the floor. But I was going to put some of the new bags of fish into one of the tanks that I knew was empty. And I was like, what's in here? And I'm like, oh, those are those. Goodness, I can't even think of the name of them. There's some of the endlers I got from LRB. 2 of the males had jumped over into another tank. That's just because at 3-4 o'clock this morning when I was filling up 17, 18 tanks. I didn't stop the water where I should have.
Well, I mean, that's what happened to me with Bob's Endlers. And Bob's here. Hey, Bob. Was the boy ended up in the Goody tank instead of his tank, and it took us a while, but James found it, so that was awesome.
Yeah, I love going over and playing in Ed's fish tanks because it's all new to me and it's all different to me. So I get over and I'm like, ooh, and he's like, well, if you really want to scoop out duckweed, I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
Can I do the maintenance on this hang-on back? Do you care if I pull your Zis filters out and clean them?
Well, and he has better eyes than me too, so he finds things easier. It's still embarrassing when I told when Kenny E was here from Danikin Aquatics, and I said, well, I think there's shrimp. I see one right now. I think there's shrimp in these 2 tanks, but I haven't seen them for months. And he's like, well, there's, and he's just pointing all over. It's like, yeah, I really need to start wearing my glasses when I'm looking at little fish.
As Bob with Kaler's Aquatics, which I believe I saw him in here earlier, he's probably lurking, would point out, Ed likes to utilize his glasses like this, and they don't always help him out in finding stuff.
But I did use them a couple times today.
You did, absolutely. But like I say, it was a fun change-up. So for those of you that don't know, Ed has driven every single time that we have gone on one of these adventures, excluding when we went with Kenny E from Danikin Aquatics. That was the Kenny E trip. I drove today, and that was a nice little change. I enjoy riding, of course, but it was nice to give Ed a break. And he's like, oh, this is neat. I do enjoy, I can see what you mean with just being along for the ride. We've got a useless fact of the day. I love those, and I know Ed does too. Rockford Fish Keeping says, Fisher Fever, useless fact of the day, 25% of hummingbirds' mass is from its chest muscles, according to Discovery UK. YouTube just told me. There we go. Now you know.
And James and I were looking up useless facts, and they think possibly all female sharks might be able to clone themselves. They're like doing studies on it. If there's no male sharks around, they've found that some can, and now they're trying to study if all of them can clone themselves, which is really creepy and cool, I think.
Candy, most of what is going on currently is the ramblings of 2 sleep-deprived madmen, so no need to follow chat required. It's not nearly as informative and entertaining. I mean, it might be funny to sit here and watch us kind of bumble around half asleep, but it's definitely not as informative as we generally try to be. Nonetheless, I appreciate we've got almost 70 people watching. I would like to ask, since Aquamate is not going, we've got so many awesome channels in here. Give somebody the opportunity here in about 10 minutes, 12 minutes when we cut this off. If somebody wanted to jump on, let us know. We'd be happy to let people know about it and send some people your way, hopefully. People got to have a place to go. We got to keep up the fish hop, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, and while Bob's here, Bob, I was going to spend the day with my family, but when it was my fortune that you didn't go because I felt bad. And so I told James, that guy, I would go with them. And man, you've got to go with us to the next one because it was really cool. And you would have had so much fun, I think. It was pretty cool. And you get to meet a lot of fun people.
Yeah, and we haven't seen you.
Your fish knowledge.
I haven't seen you lately, Bob, so it'd be good to hang out with you. It's been a while. And I still need to get those 2 tanks from you one of these days. Like, I need more tanks, but I have plans for those 2 little tanks.
We had gourmet tacos today.
We did. It was interesting. I will phrase it that way.
Normally, I prefer just good old delicious tacos, but these were fun. I had brisket and tequila and lime chicken, and I put way too much lime on it. I wish I would have just not done any of the lime because all I could taste was lime. But yeah, it was fun. It was part of their campus. It was like one of the restaurants on their campus, and the kids, I think, all love it. So it was cool.
Psychedelic Hippocampus, how's it going? Not that I don't love seeing you here, but I just love saying that name. says, "Hey, didn't get notification bill on YouTube. Sorry, that's partially probably my fault, seeing as I didn't schedule the stream out as far ahead of time as I normally do. So the fact that we've got 70 people here amazes me, because I figured YouTube would probably only tell about 20 people. So most of you all probably wandered in here of your own volition, and knowing that it was Saturday night. And I love you and I appreciate you for that. Sorry it's not quite up to par with the normal stream, but we weren't about to cancel, right? The show must go on.
For sure.
Bruce Fletcher says, I've thought about maybe trying to get some bucktooth tetras. So I have got some bucktooth tetras. I got them from LRB. It's really, really cool. He was like, hey, I need to get these things out of my way. I know you've got your piranhas. You love piranhas. These fit in your niche. I know that you'll love them. So I was fortunate enough to get LRB's bucktooths, his Exodon paradoxus. They're such awesome fish. I would definitely say they are one of those fish that live up to the fun factor around them. Sometimes you get people hype up fish and then you get it and you're like, this fish isn't quite as cool as I thought it was going to be. They're an awesome fish, and I love feeding time with those guys. It's possibly. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, you were still talking. It's possibly your funnest fish to watch.
Even more aggressive watching them feed than it is the piranhas, the way that they pop after it. And they are definitely jumpers, especially if they're frightened.
They were so fast when LRB was catching those suckers out. And what do you have them in, a 75?
Yes.
So, I mean, he was all over the place. It took him a while to catch those guys. But yeah, that was neat. Have you done a video on those?
I don't know that I posted it. I've got some underwater footage of them, but I don't think I've done like an actual video. I think I've just got all my underwater shots of them feeding that are in a video I'm working on now, which was the green screen video that hasn't worked out yet. But I've downloaded a new program to get that working, so that should help. But I am going to do just a straight up Exodon paradoxus video.
And Nico is just being plain downright ornery today.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
He was trying to get on the keyboard. He got on the fish box while it was on the chair. Well, he was just on the fish box using it as a sharpening claws, like in my. But when I shook my finger at him, he ran away. So I guess he didn't like that.
Well, speak of the devil and his minion appears. Oddball Aquatics, how's it going? Haley the Dragon, what is up? Appreciate you swinging by here at the end. Always good to see you. And thank you again for having us over. Shameless plug here, only because it's Haley's place and it was so darn cool. If you missed it, Ed and I went up to Indiana and we drugged Sean Peck from Peck Tech with us. So not only did we get to go visit Haley's house, Oddball Aquatics, but we had Sean Peck with us. And I think it was just as much fun watching Sean's reaction to Haley's tanks as it was me getting to see her tanks. That was such a blast because he, it sounds horrible to phrase it, though. I was going to say he doesn't get out quite as much as we do, but he really doesn't get to see as many other fish people as we get to. So it was just really cool to watch him like oohing and awing at all of her stuff while we were doing it too. So you should go check out that live stream from a couple weeks ago.
And you know what, Haley? I was giving you the business at LRB's about you having all those oddball fish and not having endlers. Because I when we were at his house, I was like, why don't you have more endlers when you got all these right here? But I totally understand her having all the really. I was just giving you the business. Haley's fish tanks are amazing. And Sean's are amazing too, but he doesn't get to see other people's that are that cool. So I just love that.
So here's something I've kind of taken this for granted lately and just assuming that everybody knows about it. But somebody asked about stickers. It was Rena. Stickers. If you want Fish Room Fever stickers, they are free. Send me your address in an email, fishroomfever@gmail.com, and I will mail you out some stickers. I've got to mail some out already to a couple people, at least one of which is in the chat right now. So I will get some stickers mailed out this week. If you send me an email, title it stickers, that would be great. It helps it, kind of stand out. And I know exactly what it is, and I can search stickers and it pops up. just in case it gets sent over to junk or spam folder. You didn't wear your Guppy Guru shirt. Shame on you.
I was late. I was like trying to see what the cat was doing, so I've been looking over this thing, and then I just realized what it is. Guppy Guru, I promise. Next week I'm wearing this on the live stream. It was so cool that he sent this to me. He even put my name on it.
T-Bone, thank you. Sorry, again, no party poppers, so I'm trying to compensate for that. But thank you for the $3 Aussie super chat. That's around the chair. I'm going to smother myself and just tie myself to the chair at this point. I appreciate that. The super sticker with the big thumbs up pair. Let's see if I can get the animation going there like that. That's pretty cool. It's a little springy thumb. I appreciate that, T-Bone. I really do. Thank you for that. Ed is famous now, says Sicklets23. Absolutely. Eric Furlow, what's going on? Good to see you. Says happy Saturday night. Yes, happy Saturday night indeed. It has been a blast. It's been a crazy, 36, 48 hours, but it has been a ton of fun. And then as soon as we get done here in about 4 minutes, I've still got to go take all of these fish out of bags. And I'm sure, Ed, you probably have to do the same. I've had them all floating, but it was like, I've got 12 minutes before the stream starts. Do I try and unbag everything real quick? And I was like, no.
I didn't even get a chance to float them. They're still in the cooler.
All right.
The cat is on the cooler.
All right. Anthony's Fishy Friends has said he will go live since we do not have Aquamate going today. He'd asked me to remind it or to inform everybody of that. And Dead Fred said, where's the wig, James? You got to go full Parliament Funkadelic. There's the wig. We'll do it. Alan Matthews says, Fish Room Fever, am I allowed to say on here that is it Jan and Glorious Bettis is uploading videos again? Thought some might like to know. Yes, absolutely allowed to say that. Good information. Sorry I butchered the name, but again, I'm like, I don't even know my name at the moment.
And we met an awesome guy. I remember him from like a couple of years ago. Oh, now I forgot his name. Was it Manson? Mason. He was always on Pam streams. And he said that he has 4 jobs, and that's why he's not on YouTube anymore, hanging out with everybody talking. But super nice guy. He's part of the Bluegrass team.
Yeah, he was a really nice guy. So I'm going to do a quick reminder again. Select Pet, who was there and who pretty much did, I don't want to say all the legwork, but it seemed like he pretty much did all the legwork. He put a lot into setting up the the fish club swap that we went to today. Do us a favor, go check him out. Awesome guy. And then these guys, really cool to meet them. Prestige Aquatics, which that's white, so it doesn't show up as well. They've got a YouTube channel as well. They've got an awesome fish room tour. Almost 15,000 views on it. And they've got 900 or so subscribers. So that's a lot of views for that size upload from about a month ago. It just tells you how awesome it is. Go check them out. They've also got amazing fish on their website, prestigeaquaticfish.com, I believe it was. We looked at it earlier. Ed and I got a ton of their stuff, and I'm super glad that they were there today, along with everyone else. I'm going to go for just a couple more minutes while Anthony's getting set up. He said give him about 5 minutes, and then Anthony's Fishy Friends will go live. That way y'all have somewhere else to hang out, because we do still have 71 people watching, 63 thumbs up. Oh, no, we didn't get 70 thumbs up. I quit. I'm done. No, I'm just kidding. I appreciate each and every one of you, the likes, the listening, the lurkers, of course, the moderator team. You all do not get thanked enough. The stream would not be the same without the moderator team. So I appreciate everything you all do. Everything from posting links to answering questions to directing people to websites or just everything. Thank you very much. The people that participate, always very much appreciated. I'm going to go through here and say a thank you to the super chatters and new members. If I can get my page to load, which it should here in just a second. And about the time we get done with that, should be ready for Anthony's Fishy Friends.
Is Pam going tonight?
I believe she does. Somebody was asking what time she goes tonight. I honestly do not know.
Normally it's 11, but let's see. Maybe would know because she's awesome.
And D down the wormhole, I saw you come in here earlier. Sorry I didn't say hi to you, but thank you for being here down the wormhole. And Dan Slee, I think I missed you as well. Paul Sotero, it's great to have you in here too. Mr. Fisher says, Ed, click the like button.
You know what? I will. Let's see. Oh, jeepers. Okay, there we go. I already did. I'm 66 now because I dropped this to 65.
All right. So I do want to say again a huge thank you to T-Bone for becoming a member and joining the Fish Room Fever family. Thank you for that. And I hope you enjoy the behind the scenes content and be on the lookout for the announcement of the store opening and all the cool stuff that y'all get to see backstage. Let's grab this right here. Big J, I'll get you another sticker. I'll get you a couple. So the new ones that I got, I ordered 4,000 of them, and they are the UV rated outside waterproofy ones. So they're going to hold up better than the first batch. That was definitely a good improvement. Like I said, I got 4,000 of them. So we definitely got some stickers to go out to some people. Run through this here real quick, and then Anthony should be ready. Super chats, because y'all are awesome. We got a bunch of these to say thank you for real quick. We will hit see all, so it shows me everything. Oh, here we go. On down through here, we had Grumpy Mike's Fish with the $1 super pooper chat, and then turned right back around through $5 at us, paying a tardiness fee. I'm humbled and honored by that. I appreciate that. Father Fish threw in the super sticker for $5. T-Bone coming in after becoming a new member with the $2 Aussie super sticker, followed by Rico Stan with the $5 super chat. And I owe you a pop. Yeah, I owe you all some party poppers. I got to pick up some more. Then T-Bone followed that up with yet another super sticker with a $3 Aussie thumbs up. So as always, I love you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you all for being here. We've got a link to Anthony's channel, who is coming up next, going to fill in since Aquamate is not live this week. Candy, thank you for posting that member link. I do want to say, y'all mean the world to me. We're almost to 50 members, and I would never thought that would have happened. So that really is awesome, overwhelming, and humbling. Ed, you got your saying down, Pat? You're on this side right now.
Yeah. Make sure you keep your tanks clean. Don't be afraid to get your hands wet. Maybe I should say don't be afraid to get your hands wet. Keep your tanks clean. Maybe that's more smooth. What do you think, Candy? She hears everybody. She knows.
She does. Yeah, she'll probably be like, well, that's half this person and half that person.
Oh, no. Well, I know Sean says keep a clean tank and keep your bliss.
Follow your bliss. Keep a clean tank. Yep. It's hard not to. Candy says, Ed, I like it however you say it.
Well, she's sweet. Just like her name.
Absolutely. All right. We're going to wrap it up there. Go check out Anthony's Fishy Friends. He's always got something cool going. Again, thank you. I love you all. Eric Furlow, thank you for pooping on the chat at the last minute there. Appreciate you just coming by. The poop on the chat just makes it even better. So until next time, y'all know what it is. Keep your fish healthy. Keep yourselves healthy. Catch yourself a little fish room fever. Take care, everybody.